No. Hello, guys. Welcome to episode 95 of the Geeky Ones. And I'm Jude. Below me is Steven on the screen. Next to me on my screen is Jackie. Hello. So,
Hello.
yeah. Yeah. She'll be our guest because tonight we'll be having a Halloween special episode. And it's all about the best horror and thriller movies and the shows. So, perfect time for the Halloween. So, yeah. And we'll have like a dozen horror and thrillers. And we'll just talk about what makes them like the best watch for this season. And, you know, yeah, it's the best, Halloween movie night binge watching is a thing. So, yeah, these are the best things to add to your list. So, I guess we'll start. Everyone ready? Ready for horror? Like,
Yeah.
um, I've prepped this for a bit. Like, this one is uh looking back at these movies. I'm scared. I just remember the many times I startled. But yeah, okay. We're gonna do this from like our list goes from bottom to the top. Uh, Steven's pick first, my pick next, Jackie's pick on the third one. So that's the order, and we'll start with that. And for our first pick is Steven's pick, which is Black Mirror. So Steven, your your take on Black Mirror. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on this too.
Hello, Stephen.
Steven, you there?
Stephen. There we go. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you there. Oh,
Oh no, I think we lost him again. Jude, do you want to move on to yours first before Stephen can talk about his?
Sobrang lag.
okay. No, I think
I don't know if
we
it's my
just look at
internet or
like
what ours.
it's all right. It's all right.
Okay,
It's all
Jude,
right.
you can move on to yours first.
Okay, no, I think we can just talk about Black Mirror. Why is it
Oh god.
like I know it's not horror in some way; it's more thriller than horror. But still, there are some parts that will just scare you because it's too real or
Yeah.
it's
Because Black
just
Mirror is timely. Like a lot of their shows are based in like reality and like the timeliness of things, especially the technology ones.
yeah, they're all grounded in some form of reality, one way or another. So that's one thing. And if ever, like there are a couple of episodes. I was gonna say the Waldo moment is horror in real life because it was a slow burn for that episode.
Mm-mm.
We thought that, hey, why is this episode talking about some comedian that can be
Hmm.
uh, a politician or to be an elected official of any kind, and then we find out like a couple of years later that, oh shoot, this is real. This can happen. It's pretty real. Shut Up and Dance is thriller.
Oh, Shut Up and Dance is good.
Shut Up and Dance is thriller and horror for the guys involved in that show. For the characters in that episode.
Si Jorah. Si Jorah Mormont.
Jorah Mormont. No,
Yeah.
no,
No!
Braun.
Si Bron.
Braun.
Si Bron. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, imagine blackmail is very scary, but yeah,
Imagine
there's a reason for that.
like actually like getting a reminder to put tape over your webcam on your
Mhm.
laptop, else you're gonna get blackmailed. Like the whole
Mm-hmm.
population of the UK.
It's the best
It's the
in
best.
the.
Anyway, Steven's back.
So
Yep.
Steven, your take on Black Mirror and why you picked this on your
Ah,
list.
ano nga ba? It's just it it's such a close reflection of what our reality is today. Especially yung sorry, yung dad ko sobrang ingay. Sobrang creepy lang talaga yung Facebook episode with Topher Grace as Mark Zuckerberg, and it was very reminiscent of the culture that we have now. And that episode of Black Mirror was so scary because it was so close to reality. So I think that's what made it a horror series for me. Ayan.
All right. Other episodes we can recommend. Metalhead is kind of horror. I think it's the closest thing that, you get chased by some robot in a post-apocalypse, but it's
Yeah,
not my favorite episode.
it's not mine.
The
It's not my
arcade one,
favorite.
the video game one was kind of
Oh yeah,
sci-fi.
wait.
The one with
Ah,
yeah,
Playtest is
it's
playtest.
Abdul
horror.
Mateen and what's his name? Falcon? What's his name?
No, no, striking vipers.
Yeah, yeah,
Striking
yeah. Oh, that was a
Vipers,
crazy
Si
Blair.
episode.
ano, si Mantis yung girl.
Yeah,
Ah,
I thought
Striking
I,
yeah.
Vipers.
I thought you meant ano. I thought you meant playtest, which starred the guy who plays what's his name?
U.S. agent.
U.S. agent. Yeah, I keep
Ah, no,
forgetting
no,
his
no.
name.
Iba pa.
But
Haven't
yeah, the
seen that.
Wyatt Russell episode playtest was nice because it had survival horror stuff.
Yeah, playtest is a
Hmm.
VR episode.
It's
Like a
the it's,
it's sort of
VR
like Doom
episode.
in a way.
Parang ano siya,
No.
like
It's
they attach like a chip on your nape, and then
Mm.
you like live like in a VR, like I don't know, it looked like PT at some point.
So it's like the Matrix with a twist. Kasi diba sa the Matrix they plug you in through a socket on the back.
Yeah.
Parang
Uh-uh.
ganun.
yeah.
Yes, get.
Uh-uh.
It's basically he was like a volunteer playtester for like a survival horror game that's really immersive. So, and then that's where it all starts. That's where it all starts to just drop down and get crazy. But yeah, that's Black Mirror, and there's enough episodes for
Yeah.
people to go to. There's like four
National
seasons.
anthem.
Five
The
seasons worth.
national
So
anthem.
the first
First
episode
episode.
itself is a thriller in itself. But yeah, next entry is Train to Busan. My pick here. Yeah, Train to Busan is a nice little surprise hit in some way in 2016, and the plot is Snowpiercer but with zombies. Like, but instead of an anti-capitalist revolution, you get just going through zombies to reach the front of the train. And yeah, it stars Gong Yu, well known from Coffee Prince,
Squid
Goblin,
Game.
and just appears in like 10 minutes of Squid Game. Although yeah, really scene stealing guy on that one. But yeah, Train to Busan is starts off as your usual zombie style of film. So it starts off like um there's like a huge biological disaster that creates a zombie apocalypse. There's like deer that's zombified or something. So that's scary. I don't want to go to zombie deer. And yeah, eventually Gong Yu's character takes a train and that train eventually becomes like the main setting of the movie. It's like snakes on a plane but with zombies. I don't know. If zombies on a plane were a thing, that would have been nice. But it would have ended like 45 minutes earlier. But yeah, it's an entire chase. This movie is like an entire chase, a desperate chase for survival. It was so fast. It's always fun to watch. And there's also a sequel called Peninsula, which expands on the entire zombie apocalypse that happened in like the Korean peninsula.
Yeah.
South Korea essentially.
It wasn't
But
that
yeah, yeah, what
it wasn't that great. I mean, Train to Busan
the
like set the
sequel? Yeah,
bar.
the sequel is all right. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a reason why I like Train to Busan still because it's still watchable and it's always exciting. Like the hordes of zombies just chasing them. It just feels like always feels exciting and really suspenseful. And I think it's one of those movies that stand the test of time. So yeah, and yeah, any other thoughts? So Steven. Oh, okay.
Never seen it. Wait lang.
Okay, got okay, go.
I guess with Train to Busan also is like aside from the zombies, like diba, like they have like the like conflict within each other.
Oh yeah,
So
it's
like
like
the horrors aren't just like the zombie, like the dead. They're also like battling each other. Kasi
like they're
diba, there's like
rationalizing who can survive or
uh
not.
yeah, who's gonna ride the train? Who's gonna get inside the door to the other car? Is the person bitten or not? So there's like this power struggle then between like the living humans.
Yeah, it's just scary in that way.
Yeah, but
But
you
then
know
like,
what's
uh-huh.
great about Korean movies? Like even like the horror ones, like they still manage to inject like the feeling of like family and love. I don't understand why. I don't understand how they do it, but it's so great.
I've watched a couple of Korean things with family stuff. So yeah, that's understandable. So
Yeah,
yeah,
even Parasite, diba? I mean,
yeah,
Parasite isn't horror, but like Parasite is like
Parasite is
thriller.
like
Just
an entire family.
even there, there's like the of like family and love. I don't understand.
But yeah, it's still family oriented
Mm-mm.
thriller drama thriller. I don't know.
The host din,
But yeah,
diba?
the host, yeah. Oh yeah, the host is a nice little honorable mention if you guys want monster horror in your Asian monster horror. That's kind of cool. It's another uh Bong Bong Joon Ho
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon Ho movie that
Junho.
Bong Joon Ho. But yeah, Train to Busan. Yeah, it's fun if you're looking for like an exciting quick rush of a movie, a horror movie to watch tonight maybe. Yeah, Train to Busan is fun. And it's recommendable like for me like all year long because it's exciting. It's the most exciting one here on the list, the most fast-paced one I would say. But next we have a little found horror, and it's the reason why found horror footage is the
Found
is
footage.
yeah, found footage is like a thing, and people thought this was real. This the marketing of this movie, the way it was promoted, people thought that it was something. And during the 90s, we don't have too much internet, and
Yeah.
this was like the biggest thing. If there was the internet, this would have broken it. This is the Blair Witch Project. So Jackie, this is your entry.
Yeah. So yeah, as Jude mentioned, this is like one of the first, if not, it was like the first movie that was that got this popular, that was critically acclaimed, na found footage film. And yun nga, it was groundbreaking because people actually thought that the three students in the movie actually died. Like I think they were quiet for like a year.
Yeah, I think they
And
had like
people,
NDAs or something.
yeah, that's dedication right there. Yeah, and this is like, well, my introduction to found footage films, and uh I think this is also the reason why I'm scared of camping. I'm scared of camping. I remember there was one time, where was it? Where was we? Where were we? I think we were in it was during Undas, like nasa cemetery kami. And my cousins and I were playing in a tent, and it was like nighttime, and my dad started shaking our tent while
Oh
we were
no.
playing. I'm like, what? Then he was, yeah. But yeah, then my next exposure to the Blair Witch Project is like the video game, the very first video game. And I remember getting freaked out over like one of the monsters there because I remember like the death sequence was like it'll grab you by the neck and it'll shake you until your head would like fall off the ground.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's the Blair Witch Project. There's nothing because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. I don't know why you haven't seen it. But yeah, Blair Witch Project is a really fun movie to watch.
I haven't seen it because it's not on Netflix.
There are
but yeah,
other ways to watch it.
but yeah, yeah, the rated R version, if you know. But yeah, yeah, Blair Witch Project though is really fun. It's in a way like it helped keep the found footage genre alive. You know, we had Cloverfield, which was fun.
Yeah,
We had and
paranormal
even
activity.
yeah, and even found footage has made its way to video games with Outlast, which which I was able to list down on our recent blog. More on that later. But yeah, that's uh that's a Blair Witch Project. That's our first three movies. But before we go to proceed to our next set, we have a message from our friends at Shopee. Steven, have
All
any
right. So get ready for the 11/11/12/12 sale by going to Shopee. Just use our link podlink.co/o2k, and each click will give us a small commission. So every click that you use using our link will help us earn a little bit of money to help keep this podcast running. Saying hi to Arjun's lifestyle from YouTube. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about it. Just use our link to help keep supporting the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Now for our next set. For our next set of horror films and shows, we have your pick, Steven. Sorry to bother you. I haven't heard of this one, and yeah, let's go. I want to
Okay.
know more about this one.
So, Sorry to Bother You isn't really a horror movie. I think it doesn't become a horror movie until the latter half of the movie. Um, but it's about a black guy who uses a white person's voice in a call center. Tapos, the horror twist, I don't really want to say too much, pero may horror twist involving a certain person named Army Hammer. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna say too much, pero let's just say Army Hammer does certain animal related things, and it becomes a horror movie from there. Um, Parang legit, like the last 20 minutes of the movie is more horror. It's sa description niya kasi it's a black comedy. Pero may pagka-comedy, it is a comedy movie as a whole. Pero nagiging horror movie siya towards the end talaga because of Army Hammer's character, which surprisingly, um, the things he did in real life are pretty much a horror movie too. Yun na lang masasabi ko. So watch Sorry to Bother You because it's a funny movie parodying call centers, but at the same time it becomes a horror movie towards the end for reasons. Yun na lang masasabi ko.
All right. So yeah, looks really interesting though. I'm
Yeah,
trying to look at the premise. So it's a
yeah. I
black
looked at the
comedy.
premise also.
It's a telemarketer who adopts a white accent,
Yes.
and it just goes down from
You
there.
know what
And
it
that's
reminds me of? It reminds me of Black Klansman. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Ah,
Pero
yeah,
I've
I think
heard of
so.
Black
yeah,
Klansman.
it's
It
like that
sounds so
also.
fun.
Kasi like the black guy, I forgot the actor's name. The black guy pretends to be a white guy also in the on the phone, so they
Yeah.
can infiltrate like a KKK group somewhere, and then
Hmm.
ultimately like Adam Driver has to be that white guy,
Oo, totoo yun.
and it's so funny because Adam Driver is Jewish,
Oh my god.
and he has to
So
hide the fact that he's Jewish. My
Woo!
God, that movie.
Yeah, that's
it's a
harsh, man.
double
That's
undercover
oof.
for him.
Mm-mm.
That's
it's
really
really
fun.
it's a really funny movie.
That's some really sensitive content.
Mm-mm.
Shit.
It's a Spike Lee movie. So yeah, I mean Spike Lee movie. So yeah, it's all about it's a movie that represents he loves thought he it's his movies are all about black culture, black history. So yeah. He really does that. So yeah, that's Sorry to Bother You. My next pick is a nice little classic. It's a Stephen King adaptation, and it's the most, well, arguably the most popular one. It's The Shining. So what happens when a family of three, a small family of three, one, or what happens if you get extreme writer's block and just hold up in a hotel during the winter season. That's what The Shining could be. You apparently get cabin fever and a lot of ghosts inside the hotel, and in the end, you turn into an axe crazy guy and attack your family. So yeah, that's The Shining in a nutshell. But
It's
yeah,
a family
I think,
movie.
yeah, it's a family movie in a sense.
Wholesome family
um,
movie.
it's a wholesome family
Yeah,
movie.
it's a wholesome family movie. What are you guys talking about? Anyway, it stars Jack Nicholson, and Jack Nicholson at this time had, this was I can't remember if this was peak Jack Nicholson, but yeah, um, he was just one of those guys that are usually asked, and he's no stranger to I know he's no stranger to horror or thrillers. He has One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I would like to watch. He has
It's a really
experience
good
in
movie.
he has experience in this in these movies, and The Shining is very great because of the tension it gives. Like, the scares in The Shining are iconic enough to be referenced or parodied so much. It's whether their son writing redrum on the wall. It's either seeing the twins for the first time or the bathtub scene. It's those. But yeah, The Shining is just it's just a fun adventure because you tend to not expect what to happen. You wouldn't expect what happens inside a hotel, and with cabin fever setting in, or for their sense, hotel fever, 5-star hotel fever. That's an interesting take on that. But yeah, it's really great. It's one of those classics that you can watch all over and over again, and it still holds up well. So yeah, that's my take. How about you guys? Have you guys watched The Shining?
Yeah. The Shining. I watched The Shining really late. Like I watched it like a couple of years ago lang on Netflix. And at that time I already knew the plot, but like it was still interesting to see. Like Jack Nicholson was really good. And what's the name of the mom? Shirley Duvall? Tama ba?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Simi
Shirley
Lois
Shirley
Yeah.
Lane.
Duvall is
Yeah.
really. Oh yeah, Shirley Duvall's performance there was on point. She was really
Yeah.
great.
The son, I forgot the name of the son. Yung when he would like say red room, like paulit-ulit, like what the fuck? What the hell, child? Demon child. No.
Yeah, and the iconic line, "All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy," which
Yeah. My
yeah,
God.
but yeah, um, yeah, this is like horror in a way, writer's horror in
Whose
a
dog
way
is that?
because
Mine, our dog, sorry.
Oh,
it's funny.
cute.
Yeah, they're alright. They're probably excited for a horror movie too.
Very
They're
excited to
probably
watch The
seeing
Shining
something
too.
outside. They're probably seeing something outside. I'm kidding.
For them, that's horror for them. That's probably their tension. Like, what are you doing here? Anyway, let's go. Next one we have an Asian horror, right? Asian horror, right? This is Thai.
Yeah, it's Thai.
It's Thai. This is Shutter. Um,
Yeah.
from the 2000s. It's a really
It's
fun one. And
early
yeah, Jackie's
2000s.
pick.
Yeah, so yeah, there's something about Asian movies, especially Thai movies, that hit different. Like I don't understand why they're so scary. Like yeah, and Shutter is one of them. Shutter is one of the movies that I could watch talaga because they're like some of the Asian horrors, like I can't watch it. Like they're too creepy for me. Um but Shutter, yeah, Shutter is about a guy who's haunted, like him and his girlfriend are haunted by like figures na lumalabas sa photos, like kasi the guy's a photographer. So whenever he would like develop yung photos niya in like the, what do you call that? Yung red, yung dark room.
Yeah, dark
Uh,
room.
Mm.
yeah. Whenever he would develop the photos in the dark room, like he would notice that there's like a shadowy figure like in the photos, and then later on, like he would experience like neck pain, and then the shadowy figure makikita nila like it's on his shoulders. So like, oh my god. And
Mhm.
medyo scary, like how you would see like the progression of how bad the neck pain has gotten, like the x-rays, like nagbe-bend na yung dito niya, yung sa
Oh
neck niya.
God, that's
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I know that part.
nagbe-bend na siya.
I can feel
And
the back
then,
pain from here.
yeah. And then, yeah, there's like a lot of like plot twists, aside from the fact na the ending, I don't know if I should spoil the ending. Yeah, aside from the fact na ganun yung ending, like I also remembered na there was a lot happening that ano na kaya hinohaunt sila kaya sila hinohaunt nung woman, because the
Hmm.
guy has like witnessed something that was done to the woman. So it wasn't like
Mm.
just a random
Interesting.
haunting, like that woman was coming for blood.
Gets.
Yeah, ano siya, what do you call that? Parang the woman scorn type of horror siya.
Mm.
Ah, it's like revenge horror in some way.
Yeah, it's a revenge horror type.
Asian horror is
And
really
the
good at
most,
revenge horror, honestly.
yeah, it is Logan. I mean, that's why there's a movie called The Grudge.
Yeah, I mean that's a culmination of it. But yeah, Shutter is actually very popular. That it had one, two, three, four remakes. Three of them are
Did it
in
have an
South.
American remake?
Yeah,
I think it did.
Of course it
there's an
did.
American Shutter remake titled Shutter. Anyway, the other three remakes are all from South Asia. The other one's Hindi, so that's an Indian remake. The other one's Tamil, which is Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
and then there's a Telugu remake. I know this is India. Basically, all three of the other remakes are Indian in origin or South Asian in origin,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I
That's
mean,
interesting.
um, you can't actually go wrong with Asian horror, and Shutter is a great example of that because Asian horror tends to be a bit more grounded in reality, and they keep the horror close at home, kind almost
Yeah.
literally.
And their ghosts are a different breed. They are like even like in the ring, right? Like Sadako. Like
Hmm.
you imagine like seeing like a woman with like hair in front of her face crawling out of your TV. Like what the hell? Like you can't
Yeah.
see that anywhere else. Like it's just Asian horror.
Oh,
No
no.
better, no better way to get scared by seeing your TV signal
Yeah.
turn into that.
Yeah, there was
Anyway,
there was one time that I couldn't like look. We had a TV in our room before, and I couldn't look at our TV before when I first saw like the ring, like Sadako crawling out of the TV. Like, oh my god.
hmm
Must have caused a lot of I'm sure the character of Sadako must have caused a lot of damaged TVs in the early 2000s. Feeling ko.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
imagine like there was one time like we were watching TV, and then it suddenly like it suddenly went into white noise. Like our
Ay,
cable
shit.
just cut off. And we was like, what's happening? We
yeah,
didn't
Nakakatingin
know
si
why.
Sadako.
what's happening in that way. But yeah, yeah. Oh my god. The best solution, guys, is to get I don't know, watch from the internet, get a flat screen. So don't
Just
ever plug your VHS players now.
you're just giving Sadako more space to crawl out.
I don't
Exactly.
know. If
Kung nasa
Sadako,
laptop ka, like she can probably
if Sa-
access. She probably has like 5G on her in her well or something.
Oh
Yeah, I don't know.
no.
If
Hmm.
Sadako has like a curve, imagine Sadako on a curve monitor, 4K curve monitor
Streamer
on
si
the
Sadako
ultimate
eh, no?
yeah,
Oh
on
no.
like on 4K on a 4K curve monitor.
Tangina,
Yeah,
4K.
that's actually scary. It's this is not IMAX. This is actual horror. So that's
Oh
really
my.
fun.
Oh
But yeah,
no.
yeah, Shutter. Yeah, like Asian horror in general is like so fun to watch. I mean, well, in a way, not really fun. It's like it just haunts you for a while. It's the best kind of horror, you know. The horror that keeps you like where makes you remember the scares that it gives you. So that's like that's that's a sign you've watched something great. But before you go to, we have like we're halfway to our list. But for before we go to that next part, let's talk about a little giveaway that we have, which is not sponsored by Amazon. So Steven, what's the rules here?
All right, so we will be giving away a $10 gift card from Amazon slash Comixology. We will be giving away that gift card once we reach 950 likes. We are very close to 950 likes on Facebook, so please do like and share our page. Yeah, just like our page and then leave one comic book artist on the comments of the post. One comic book artist that we featured on on our show, and that's about it. Once we reach 950, we will be giving away that gift card on Facebook, and then there will be a separate giveaway on Twitch once we reach 75 followers. Also, a $10 gift card. That's not sponsored by Amazon. Yeah. So just follow us and you will be part of the raffle. So that's
Yeah,
about it for the Amazon slash Comixology $10 gift card giveaway.
awesome. Okay, now let's go to our next set of three, and we start off with a Jordan Peele horror called Us. You know, Jordan Peele has like I don't know what this guy's career is very interesting. You know, he started out as someone I watched on Mad TV with
Yes,
Michael
classic.
Key, and Mad TV was actually good enough to compete with SNL, even though it got canceled because it became too expensive to maintain the show. But yeah, Jordan Peele transitioned from that becoming joining with Keegan Michael Key for Key and Peele, you know, and helping us laugh through like the past decade with whatever they have. And now we know eventually Jordan Peele transitioned to filmmaking, becoming an accomplished director. He started with Get Out, and Get Out was such a hit. And eventually we find out no, he's actually good at doing horror stuff. He's actually good at horror and thriller. He makes us laugh, and he can also make people. He can also scar people when with movies, which is cool. Um, but yeah, so Steven, tell us more about Us.
All right. So Us is about a family who goes on vacation, and then that family finds out that they have, what would you call it? Not doppelgangers, but I guess clones. I think I'm spoiling the movie. Am I spoiling the movie?
No, it's no, it's in
No.
the trailer. So yeah,
Okay.
there are
Okay.
doppelgangers technically.
Yeah, yeah. So they find out that they have doppelgangers, and then okay, spoiler territory nito, but sige, I won't spoil too much. But so they find out they have doppelgangers, and then they have to take care of them somehow,
Okay,
in
so it's
very
basically
violent ways. Uh, I was freaking out in the cinema when I was watching this with some
Mhm.
friends, and of course my friends were telling me to just shut up and just like, tahimik ka. Sobrang ingay ko sa cinema. Of course, kasi you know how pag nanonood ka ng horror movie sa bahay, tapos parang I was acting like the stereotypical person on TV kung sasabihin, don't open that door kasi alam mo na yung mangyayari next, parang ganun. So that was me in the cinema. So imagine how annoyed my friends were at the time. Uh yeah, it's a crazy movie. It's really good. You have to watch it. It's one of those edge of your seat movies talaga. When it comes to movies, yun. If you want that edge of your seat experience again, watch Us. And it's a really cool collab also between Lupita Nyong'o. I'm not sure about her
Nyong'o.
surname.
Nyong'o.
Nyong'o. Lupita Nyong'o and Yaya Abdul Mateen. I wasn't expecting him there in the movie. This was Yaya Abdul Mateen again in another like horror sci-fi related thing. Um, yeah, it was a really good movie. I must watch movie siya for me. So that's it.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah. Anyway, apart from Jordan Peele's Us, yeah, we mentioned Get Out, and he's also the director of the recent
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone episode. So yeah, he's on a roll, and he's on a roll right now,
Yeah.
and he it's like it's the craziest glow up we've seen from Mad TV to making horror.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, he has like an upcoming movie. I forgot who's starring in it, but yeah, he has an upcoming movie. And I think it's an alien one. I'm not sure.
There's
Yeah.
also Candyman. So he has a slasher.
Oh, no
He wrote a
way.
slasher film. So
He was
that's
involved
gonna
in
be
that as well, pala. Oh shit. He's
yeah,
also
Yaya
there.
Abdul Mateen.
He's
Yeah, it
everywhere,
is.
man. He
It
really
My
is
is.
Doctor
god.
Manhattan.
And there's also a
Oh,
movie
god.
called Nope. Um I would
I think
like to
Nope is the
know.
upcoming one.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
with him on the helm as the director once more.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been doing a lot of great stuff, and that's really fun. And yeah, just more horror from him. Now we go to my pick. This is a little favorite of mine. I was watching this on. I was watching this before I watched this. I was having like weird feeling on my chest. So I don't know if it was the movie or anything else, but yeah, I hate. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie a lot, and it's It Chapter One. Talking specifically about It Chapter One. Haven't watched two, but It Chapter One is such a great retelling of a Stephen King novel, of a famous Stephen King novel. And the last time that it was adopted, it was a series. It had Tim Curry as the icon. As it Tim Curry as Pennywise. What am I saying? But yeah, it is a how would I say generational horror in some way. Literally, like it's sure it's about the kids. Sure the kids are involved here, but the thing is, they're like they're in a town that has like a cyclical
Horror, like
a,
every 27
yeah, a
years.
cyclical curse in some way.
Yeah.
Like it happens every certain number of years. I think it was like 27 or
27.
something.
27.
Yeah. And yeah, and then it's usually Pennywise appearing during those times, and it's one of those years. In chapter 1 describes what happens in those years, and it all starts with a kid named Bill, who
Billy. Billy.
Billy, like he tries to get he just he's just innocently making his paper boat chug along.
Ah,
Nice
no, that's
little
Georgie. The little
Georgie,
brother. Yeah.
yeah, Georgie, the nice little nice little gutter. It's raining. Best time to play with your paper boat. And then the paper boat goes to the gutter, and some nice kind clown offers some help to him, and we never see him again. I don't know why. I wonder.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, but yeah, one thing that makes this great is just how Pennywise is presented. Oh my god, um, the way that I think the scary part is like I can't remember. Is it the projector one where he
Yeah, the
just
projector
gets
one. The
yeah, where it just
one.
gets bigger, it gets more prominent on the screen. It was just yeah, that got me really scared, and that's actually really great. That's a sign, and um, my God, which Skarsgård was it?
Bill. Bill.
Ang dami
Bill.
Skarsgård kasi.
The
Ang dami.
Skarsgård dynasty.
Bill
Exactly, the Skarsgård
Skarsgård.
acting
Bill,
dynasty,
Bill, Bill.
diba?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
okay.
Bill.
Bill Skarsgård was really great in this. As Pennywise, he just nails the character down, and yeah,
Yeah,
the
and a
kids
lot
as
of
well. The
a lot
kids
of
are
the
really
kids'
great.
reactions were natural because that was like a lot of them, or at least I think all of them. That was like the first time they saw Bill Skarsgård in Pennywise Gorb.
So
So
yeah, I mean,
naturally reaction nila.
it's that's acting, I guess. Scarring your mentally scarring yourselves there. But yeah, the way that it presents its scares is so good. It's genuine, and it hits close to home in some way because it's in a small town, it's in a small community. I think I like these kinds of horror because it happens near your area. Oh my god! Like there's a haunted street near me.
Like
Okay,
we all know each other in this town.
and yeah, it's really crazy, and it's a really fun movie. It's a great and the chapter two, I haven't gone around it. It's
Yeah.
gonna take a while. It's a long movie, but yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
Honestly,
next,
you can
yeah,
watch it like on it like chapter one on its own.
and
Chapter two is
it's
just like because diba, like in chapter one like they beat the bad guy anyway. Chapter two is just like what will happen 27 years later. Like where are the kids
Mm.
now? So
yeah
yeah, I mean
they
chapter one is a good standalone in itself actually.
yeah. I wonder what happens when you get traumatized by a murder clown
Yeah.
after 7 years. But yeah,
Who is also Nigel Thornberry in the original version.
oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, Tim Curry as Pennywise in
Smashing.
the original.
Oh,
That's Nigel
interesting.
Yeah, the
Thornberry.
the OG Pennywise is yeah,
It's Nigel
Nigel
I,
Thornberry.
Thornberry. So imagine he's about to kill you. I'm about to smash you. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. Keep anyway.
scary
Next
on
movie.
that. Next one, we have an entire franchise. I don't think we can actually just pick one of this.
Nah,
Because it's a really great franchise. You can I think I would understand if you watch any one of this because it's really great.
it
The
is.
Saw franchise. So yeah, high stakes blackmail game show, twisted game show kind of thing. If the I mean it's a
I
game
love how
show.
it's described as game show.
No, it's a game show for the audience of one
It's a
essentially.
gotcha. It's a gotcha.
It's the worst. It's the worst it's the worst horror gotcha we could ever
Oh my
get.
god.
And yeah, the Saw franchise. How many films right now? Maybe I think it has reached 10.
10, more than 10.
10 of yeah, more than 10 of the of in the main line having like at least 8 or 9 of those. 9, I think. 9 mainline series. It includes the 3D one, even though it's not numbered. But yeah, Jack, you take this one. It's
Yeah,
fun.
so, oh my god. I'm obsessed with the Saw franchise. Like, it's scary how obsessed I am with this franchise. No, Saw, like, but when I was younger, like I was scared to watch this movie because it's torture porn. Like who would want to watch people getting tortured and who would want to see like blood on their screen, right? And when I got older, like around high school or college, like I got around to watching like the first movie. So the first movie is very low budget. Like you could see how low budget it is because it's like 90% of the movie they're just in like a bathroom, like two guys and one dead body in the bathroom, and like they have to figure out like how to get out because they're like handcuffed to like their feet are cuffed to like pipes. So and then there's like another side of the story where there's like a detective trying to find the guys who were in the bathroom and then trying to find who Jigsaw is. So it was a very low budget film that like raked in like a lot of money. It was that popular, and then it like sunod-sunod siya, like Saw 2, Saw 3. So like I was like, oh my god, I want to know more about this movie. Like this is like it wasn't as gory as I expected. I mean one of the guys cut off his foot, but like it wasn't as bloody as I expected. And then I went through like the whole franchise. I think I watched all of them, including Jigsaw. I haven't seen Spiral, which stars Chris Rock. Um, and what's interesting is it's like ang dami niyang Chekhov's gun moments. Like there are a lot of callbacks. Like, oh, this is why this person is doing this. This is why Jigsaw is doing this to this person. And what's interesting is it's torture porn na it's not just like it's not Jigsaw is not just torturing them because gusto niya. He's torturing them because they're like bad people. It's like the good place, but Jigsaw is torturing them, and like if like whoever survives, you have to promise that you're gonna do good in society for some ano. So it's like there's like a morality there's like a morality struggle in in Saw, which is very interesting. But yeah, it's a good franchise if you like torture porn. If you want to see Chester Bennington like scream his lungs out in one of the Saws, I forgot which one was it. He was there. Uh, I think it was a 3D one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like he was screaming his lungs out. Yeah, you
Mhm.
can watch Saw. It's really fun. Like if you can handle blood and gore, watch Saw.
I would like to say that one of the scariest things there, it made me scared of syringes.
Oh God, no, oh
There's
no.
that one scene. That's one thing I'll say. Because
Yeah,
like part of the thrill of Saw is finding out what puzzle does Jigsaw have next for a guy, diba?
yeah.
Whether it's a trap that would
On your
clamp down some
jaw
guy's
here.
head, the jaw, diba? It's
Yeah,
it's it's really there's like it's high stakes in a way.
it is.
It's in the realms of shows like Battle Royale. I mean, Battle Royale is high stakes that you have to
Yeah.
just off each other in a map.
Yeah, a lot of the traps like take a lot of creativity because some
Mhm.
of them aren't like straightforward. Now look for the key inside like the toilet filled with syringes or something. It's
Yeah,
not as
The-
straightforward as
a
that.
lot of them
There
are cryptic. There are a good
yeah,
number of them that are cryptic.
there's one where there are like two people and like there's like a divider, and then there's like a weight, like a weighing scale in the middle, and then they were told like you have to put like X amount of flesh, like whoever surpasses the other would survive. So like there's one guy who's like cutting off pieces of his flesh, putting it in the weighing scale, and then the woman like realized that, oh, I can just cut off my whole arm, put it there, and I'll survive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
My
there's
God.
co-op mode challenges there.
Cool.
It's so weird. Um there's like yeah, there are times that it's a one-on-one in some way. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's the part of the excitement of Saw is finding out what puzzle do they have next. And also we're toting that there are spin-off movies recently. So that's one thing. There's a lot.
Yeah.
You can start off with the very first Saw and then just go
Yeah.
binge one every now and then because it's just fun, you know. Yeah, if you want to see puzzles, twisted puzzles.
No, but
That
if you
that's
don't, if you have like a queasy, if you get queasy easily, like don't watch it. Honestly,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's one thing. It's really it's gory in a way.
it's
It's bloody
intense.
in a certain way, and it's scary. Yeah, it's not fun at times. But yeah, before we go to our final three, we'll talk. Let's have a message from our friends over at Podmetrics. So,
All
Steven.
right. So use the code GEEKYJUANS, GeekyJUANS, when you sign up to get the stats for your own podcast through podmetrics.co. So when you sign up, there will be an option to insert a code, and we will get a small commission from each successful entry of the code. That's GeekyJUANS. And that is it for Podmetrics.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now we go to our final three, and this is really cool. You enjoy this one. Next up, we have my pick, which is this is one of my scariest, and I recently watched this with Jack, and yeah, this is a recommendation from her. This is Hereditary. So now, how do I? Okay, well, Hereditary is a family film. It's another family film, so that's really cool. You know, horror movies that involve families are like some of the best horror in any form. It just gets close. Whew. Um, how do I? how do I talk about this without spoiling too much? It starts off okay. It starts off with a little family called the what's their last name? The Greyhams, the Greyhound family. So the thing is, this all starts with the death of the grandmother, and you know what happens after that is really interesting because the grandmother is a really secretive person, and it just we don't know why the mom, which is Tony Collette's character, Annie, hates her. Like
Yeah,
it starts off right off the bat that it becomes that we see the tension between Tony Collette and her dead mother.
mom.
Yeah, yeah, and then it just I was gonna say it spirals down, but it's more of like a slow burn into like what happens eventually because like this family this family went through a lot, and I know there are horror movies that offer like straight up scares, but I know Hereditary has a certain way of just making you feel worried about every little thing and make you not want to trust anyone you see on screen because it's just really scary. And if people know what happens to Charlie in this movie, it's the scariest. It's where the scares start. I would say that scene where the movie went silent for like a few minutes was one of the best
Oh my
parts of
god.
it
Yes.
because you can't even the audience would need like a breather for like while watching that. So that was really some of the best ones, and it somehow involves demons and some weird society too. It's nice, if you like familial horror, like from
With demons and cults.
whether it be your biological family or an extended secret family you never knew. This is Hereditary, but yeah, it's so fun. There was a time this was dubbed as one of the scariest movie of the year in 2018. I know people would always dispute what's a scare what it means to be the scariest movie of the year, but this one is this one is a great example.
Also, do you know how scary it was? Like it was considered one of the scariest movies because there was one cinema where they measured like the viewers' heart rates while they were watching
Uh-huh.
the movie.
Oh no.
It was intense.
Hmm. Pero there are movies talaga though. There are some movies that they tama ba they have to stop. Like they have to pause the movie because it's
I
so
am not
scary for some
sure.
people. Like it happens to some movies, diba? Tama ba?
Talaga,
Yeah, but
I'm not sure.
I don't think it happens to Hereditary. I think
Ah,
in a
okay.
way Hereditary constructed that for themselves in one
Yeah,
scene.
because it's a type of
Uh
movie that doesn't have like jump scares, which worked for in their benefit.
I see.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's not a jump scare horror. It's also not in a way in your face, but yeah, it's just scary in a way. Also worth noting that the director of this, Ari Aster, also made Midsommar, which is a nice little thriller. I didn't consider it. I was thinking of putting this on the list, but it was more of a thriller than a horror
yeah.
in a way. But that's another familial experience. It's a nice little vacation to
Ari Aster
Scandinavia.
just wants to bring families together.
Yeah, Ari Aster just wants to make a sense of community
My
in
God.
whatever way he wants that would be. Whatever way he wants it to be, because it's so scary. It's in a way scary in that sense. But yeah, also the miniature house and the tree house. Yeah, the houses in Hereditary are the scariest parts. Three houses right there. Yeah, don't I don't want that tree house anymore.
Yeah.
Let's stop. Now we go to next up. We go to Steven's pick. Now Steven's pick is nice little fun movie called The Evil Dead.
Ah, okay. All right. So, for those unfamiliar, Evil Dead was directed by Sam Raimi, who we know as the director of the Spider-Man movies, the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I forget ang dami ng Spider-Man. Um, and also, he's going to be directing Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange Part 2, essentially.
Let's just say Sam Raimi is a horror guy before
Yes,
directing
exactly,
Spider-Man.
exactly.
That's one
And
of
I
his
remember, I
specialties.
remember watching this on my parents' TV in their bedroom, and they usually have like this big TV. My dad's like really obsessed with TV, so he has this big TV in his room. So I got to see the gory stuff. It's not a super gory movie, but there's a lot of jump scares. So Evil Dead is about a group of friends who go on a cabin in the woods, like a lot of horror movies start off, and shit hits the fan from there. And it's up to this guy named Ash, who is now I think an American pop culture icon, diba? For his like chainsaw arm and stuff.
Wait,
Uh,
what's his name? I forgot.
Bruce, what's his name?
Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams. Okay,
Yes,
Ash from The
yes,
Evil
yes,
Dead.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah,
So
one of the
iconic horror
most
movie characters, diba?
yeah, horror icon right there.
Yes, exactly.
And um
So yeah, Bruce
yeah,
Campbell is such a horror icon because of this movie and the you know preceding sequels, to the point that it went from horror to sci-fi. I guess if that's a
mhm.
if it I guess that's probably the best way to describe it. Now it's a horror movie with a hint of sci-fi, so it's pretty much the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
the Evil Dead franchise is really a long runner. The Sam Raimi one was a trilogy, so that's kind of cool.
yeah.
Evil Dead 2, Army of
Speaking of
Darkness.
trilogies, diba? Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a good movie because it's it's your typical. I mean, you can't really say that. Oh, it's your typical horror movie. Because I think kahit yung like, I don't know. Sa sobrang ganda ng movie for me, I don't really know how to describe it properly. You just have to watch Evil Dead and then
It's an
go from there. Kasi
experience
it's a
with a
mix of
chainsaw and a
comedy, horror.
shotgun.
There's so much going on that you really just have to see it to understand. Yeah, that's about it for Evil Dead.
That's nice. But yeah, Evil Dead is an entire franchise. There's even a series about it, so that's really cool. And yeah, this is fun. And now we
Evil
have
Dead is the movie with the tree scene, right?
with a tree scene. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my
Oh my.
god.
Like biglang nasa trees ka, parang biglang putang ina may jump scare doon.
Yeah.
Like you don't know when the jump scare gonna come out talaga. Yan yung I think that's yun. That speaking of Evil Dead nga.
Mhm.
That's what made it so good because you don't know when the jump scare was gonna happen. Kasi expect mo na magkaka-jump scare, but you just don't know when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yun.
I think that's the only scene I know of from Evil Dead. Like someone was talking about it on Tumblr, like how there was like a trees assault scene in Evil Dead, and like what?
Yeah,
What?
it
Sentient
was in
trees?
a way.
Yeah,
And
you
also
just have to see it to believe
yeah,
it.
we're noting that it's gonna have a fifth film next year, which is wild. But yeah, Sam Raimi and horror. Yeah, he has a nice repertoire of that before he went to Spider Man. I mean, to be fair, the horror elements, the tension, hell, really made some of the Spider Man movies great. I don't know, he did well, and yeah. Now we have our final entry here, which is Jackie's pick, the Babadook, and I don't know. This looking at what the Babadook is already scary in itself.
Yeah.
So
LGBT icon.
Yeah, he's an LGBT icon. Just go. Yeah, I've been convincing you to watch this with me. But yeah, The Babadook is also a family film. So it's about a mom and his kid who's being tormented by an evil figure called the Babadook. So the whole story happens like right after the dad died. So like this is in the trailer, so this isn't really like spoiling anything, but like the mom like finds like a book, like a storybook about the Babadook. Like it's like a children's book, and the Babadook is like the main character for some reason. So like, why would you put that in a storybook? And the Babadook like looks like a black ghostly figure with a big smile. I don't know, and then um and then this it's implied that this ghost has been like tormenting the family, like hurting the child, and then hurting also the mom, and then um when the mom tries to talk to neighbors, friends, family, the psychiatrist about it, like they would parang yung the instant um reaction nila is like, oh, are you doing this to your child? Like, are you abusing your child? What are you doing to yourself? So like it's like she can't explain like what's happening in her house. She also can't explain to other people because people are like trying to accuse her of something of abuse. But yeah, it's really scary, mostly for me, because like imagine I watched this movie at like, what time did I watch this? I watched this like 2 p.m. May araw pa. May araw pa when I watched this. So I was like,
Full afternoon
so
sun.
I was watching this on our old PC, so like monitor, 21-inch
Oh,
monitor, malaki siya, and
okay.
full screen. And it's like, okay, may araw pa, like I'll be good. And then like towards like like the climax of the movie, when like the Babadook would like show up, because I hate shadowy figures, like that's like one of my fears.
Mm.
Like when he would like show up, and then he makes this like sound. It's this similar to the Grudge, that creaky sound that's lower for some reason. And then so like from full screen, my screen went to like half, and then from half it went to 1/4. Palit na palit yung screen ko. It was that freaky. Oh my god. But yeah, it has like the Babadook has a lot of symbolisms. Like as with a lot of like horror movies, like
Yeah.
some horror movies are like reflections of like um ano to, like society, like whatever's happening in society at that time. And yeah, the Babadook is has like themes of like grief, depression, whatever. So yeah, it actually has like a good review of like how they tackle depression, like unlike some movies like Split, like with mental illness. And yeah, the Babadook is really good. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Like, don't watch it with the lights closed if matatakotin kayo.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, it's a pop-up. I realize it's a
It's a
pop-up
pop-up book.
storybook.
It's a
Ah, that's
pop-up book,
cute.
yeah.
That's
Oh.
It's not
cute.
cute,
Question
Jude. It's
mark.
not.
But yeah, it's a little pop-up storybook. It's another familial horror movie.
Familiar horror.
The best one.
Wholesome family horror.
Yeah, it's a wholesome, wholesome family.
But honestly, like yeah, I mean, based on this, like any horror movie with a family in it, it's actually one of the
Yeah.
best.
No, especially
'Cause-
like horror movies with families, and then the protagonist is a mom, because like what do you call this? Because like there's something with horror movies and women, like women and horror, because if you think about it, women are the ones who like go through a lot of horrors. So like a lot of horror movies are like body horror, like women like going through like the struggles of motherhood, like like the Babadook going through the struggles of motherhood while going through grief, going through neighbors, I know, then going through like a ghost tormenting your home. So ayun.
yeah, there are many ways to present horror, but yeah, the Babadook. Now should I watch this?
Yes, you
I think we
should.
should. I think it should be a watch. But yeah, let's talk about before we end this. Let's talk about some little honorable mentions that we might have missed. A little recommendation and here and there. I think one thing I missed to add in the main list was The Exorcist,
Mm-mm.
because The
Oh yeah.
Exorcist is iconic in its way. I mean, sure that there are other horror movies that have surpassed it in a way, but The Exorcist is still hella scary because um I don't know, the the vomiting part, the entire
Yeah.
exorcism itself is there. Exorcism of Emily Rose is also scary. That's one of the first ones that really got me really really just tense up in as a teenager. The other one is Ring, of course, Ring. Well, not the American one, the Japanese one. Please,
Hmm.
just watch when you watch when you watch like Asian horror. Don't watch don't start by
Yeah.
watching the remakes because
Yeah.
that will just ruin the excitement
Yeah.
there.
And a
But
lot of
it's a,
American remakes kasi are like there's white people living in Asian countries.
yeah, like
Wait, but the
no,
ring wasn't that the ring in wait, tama ba?
Yeah.
that's the
The
Ring and
Grudge
the
ni Sarah
Grudge.
Michelle Gellar, 'di ba?
Yeah, The
Tama
Grudge
ba?
happens in Japan. Also, The Ring happens in Japan. Like, so they live in
Uh,
Japan.
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, if they're gonna remake a horror movie, just remake it in the context of like where they are.
Yeah.
Like Ring can work in America. Like they're like I found this tape on a blockbuster. Holy
On a
crap!
blockbuster.
What is this
oh
freaking
my god,
tape?
that make it
Diba?
so dated. My gosh,
I mean, it would have.
I found this tape in a blockbuster.
But yeah, in that context, it's gonna work. But
Hmm,
yeah,
it will, it will.
but yeah, horror movies and stuff. Any more honorable mentions we missed? Any of you guys missed
Cabin in
something?
the Woods.
Oh yeah, Cabin in the Woods is not really the scariest thing, but it's so
It's
fun. It's
not.
just
My
fun.
God. That
It's
movie.
the main twist of that movie is just the best thing. Still, like whenever I think about how it was revealed, oh my god, it's ridiculous to the point
Yeah.
that you're no longer scared. You're the most entertained person in that moment, and yeah, I don't want to spoil it for those who Cabin in the Woods
Yeah.
sounds so ominous though.
It's like Until Dawn, honestly. Like when I first
Yeah, oh
saw it, I
yeah,
was like, is this like Until Dawn? And it's like, nope, it's not unlike Until Dawn.
yeah. And if we're talking about series, yeah, I think we recently watched Haunting of Hill
Haunting of Hill
House. That's
House.
really fun. Um, Horror series are a bit underrated in a way that there's not too many of them. I think
Also,
it's
surprise, Haunting of Hill House is a family horror.
Ano ba
yeah,
yan?
that's another one. Family
Oh, bakit
horror.
ba lang? Oh
Yay.
my gosh.
I would assume Bly Manor would be. Is it?
Is it? Wait lang.
In some way, maybe.
It's not as family horror as Haunting of Hill House.
Okay.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, family oriented horror is the best way to watch horror because I don't know, there's like I think it's the connection, it's the deep connection, that it's a deep personal connection that makes it scarier, oh my god.
Mm-mm.
Like it's whether it be a family entering a freaking haunted house. Actually, that's most of family
Yeah,
horrors,
that's
my god. Or 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 scary parts like starts with grief, like Hereditary. Those are the best ones. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, I guess that's our episode. So yay, we have a nice little set of horrors and thrillers to watch during the Halloween season. And the Halloween season is just running around right now. But
And
yeah,
you got 4 hours left.
Extended
I
yan
don't.
hanggang November 1. Undas
Yeah,
eh.
yeah. The
Long
thing.
weekend naman, enjoy.
It's the long weekend. It all starts. It doesn't end. It doesn't end that early. But yeah. Before we go, we can share some stuff, promote some stuff. For more horror goodness, you can take a look at the geekyones.com where we had a nice little 1 month long blog series called Best Horror Games. Best horror games of the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. Um, the best horror games of 2010s list has just released. So we talk about a nice little set of games there, like Five Nights at Freddy's and Outlast, which are just hella scary. And even Until Dawn, we mentioned Until Dawn for being like B movie horror, but it was well made B movie horror. You know, A grade B movie horror. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, we talk about the 90s and 2000s where Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Dino Crisis were king. Fatal Frame, of course. If you want scary camera picture taking stuff, which is always works. I don't like looking at camera sometimes, pictures sometimes. But yeah, um, that's a geekyones.com. We have a lot more articles coming soon. We're just there's a nice little schedule there, a few game reviews there, and a nice listicle there. But yeah, that's the geekyones.com. Also, you can follow the Geeky Ones at the Geeky Ones on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Yeah, same handle. We're pretty easy to find. Then you can interact, message us for anything. Message for contribute for helping out and stuff. But yeah, that's cool. And of course, the audio version of this will be available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. So there's many ways to listen to us or watch us. Of course, you're watching us from Facebook. You can also watch us on YouTube and Twitch, all live simultaneously. And that's the amazing part of the internet. We're everywhere now, ominously, like, just on your screen. Anyway, uh,
Wow, Jude,
coming
that's
to that part.
creepiest.
But then, yeah, that's the podcast. Now we promote our individual channels. So first off, we have Steven with Stevie Said Yup. So
All
Steven.
right. So I'm at Stevie Said Yup on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I am mostly posting things about hockey because hockey is in full season now. And yeah, I'm gonna be sharing posts about jerseys and the games and whatnot. That's about it.
Okay. Now for my end, there's Dude It's Jude on Facebook. So later at 10 p.m., I'll be starting my stream on Resident Evil 4 just to celebrate the Halloween season and I just really miss playing that game. And I've finished that game multiple times, and I'm just excited to just play it again after like a decade and a half of not. So I hope I still remember how to kill zombies. So that's gonna be cool. But yeah, on Facebook. So I also have my YouTube channel, same name. If you're gonna check that out. But yeah, that has been episode 95, and we're five more episodes closer to 100, which is nice. I'm not sure if we can reach 100 by the end of the year. I don't know how to count right now, so that's gonna be difficult.
I think we
But
will.
yeah,
I think we will. We'll get there. We'll
but
get
yeah,
there.
we have a few more weeks until the end of the year. We have a lot of stuff. I mean, we're gonna talk about year end stuff, best of 2021 stuff. That's gonna be interesting. Stay tuned for that. But for now, we're the geeky one. So I'm Jude, and Steven is here, and Jackie. Thank you for joining us for this best horror movies episode and Halloween season. But yeah, happy Halloween, everyone, and we'll see you in the next
Happy
episode. So like,
Halloween.
bye bye, guys. Happy Halloween
Bye
again.
bye.